some African countries have a strong military force that can be compared to their counterparts in other parts of the world. However, only a few are lagging behind in terms of military might. First and most importantly, subscribe to this page for more interesting and educational facts about Africa and the world like this. Top 10 most powerful military in the Africa in 2022. Here's the list of the top 10 most powerful military in the world in 2022. 10. Tunisia. The Tunisian military is the 10th most powerful military in Africa. The country has a power index of 1.366 and an active personnel of 48.0. In 2022, Tunisia budgeted about $1.18 billion for defense. 9. Sudan. The Sudanese military is one of the strongest in Africa, occupying the number 9 spot. Sudan have a well-organized military force that comprises about 210.0 active personnel. In addition, Sudan has an impressively large tank fleet as well as numerous aircraft and attack helicopters. Sudanese military boasts 46 fighter aircraft, 38 attack aircraft, 43 attack helicopters, 690 combat tanks, 400 armored fighting vehicles, and 12 naval patrol craft. In 2022, Sudan budgeted $2.5 billion for defense. 8. Libya. Libya is ranked 8th in our list of the top 10 African countries with the strongest military force. The nation's military have 17 fighter aircraft, 7 attack helicopters, 250 combat tanks, 450 armored fighting vehicles, and 55 rocket projectors. In 2022, Libya spent $3.5 billion on defense. 7. Angola. Angola has a well-disciplined military forces with over 120.0 active personnel. The nation is the 7th strongest military force in Africa. The country's defense budget for 2022 was $1.6 billion. 6. Ethiopia. Ethiopia has one of the strongest military strength in Africa. The nation has a military firepower score of 1.080 and over 162.0 active military personnel. Ethiopia's military force is the strongest in East Africa. 5. Morocco. Occupying the 5th position on our list of the top 10 most powerful military force in Africa is Morocco. The country has an active military personnel of 200.0 and a reserve personnel of 150.0. The nation's military budget for 2022 was $6.17 billion. Morocco boasts 249 total aircraft fleet, 3,335 tank strength, 500 armored vehicles, and 517 self-propelled artillery. Morocco has the naval strength of 121. 4. Nigeria. Nigeria has the 4th strongest military force in Africa. The nation has one of the largest uniformed combat services in Africa, with over 223.0 active personnel and no reserve personnel. Nigeria budgeted about 2.41 trillion naira for defense in 2022. The country have 362 aircraft comprising fighter aircraft, transport aircraft, 39.0 armored fighting vehicles, 800 tanks, 1,197 self-propelling rockets. Sadly, despite the country's military might, the country is not able to overcome Boko Haram that is troubling the northern region of the country, as well as the huge security challenges that have escalated to other regions of the country. 3. Algeria. Algeria has the 3rd most powerful military force in Africa. The nation has active personnel of 130.0 and reserve personnel of 135.0. In 2022, Algeria budgeted about $9.7 billion for defense, the highest in defense budget in Africa in 2022. Algeria has the aircraft asset of 552, including 103 fighter aircraft, dedicated attack aircraft of 22, 11 transport aircraft, 87 trainers aircraft, 9 special mission aircraft, and 268 helicopters. For land armory, Algeria has a tank strength of 2,196 and 461 armored vehicles as well as 545 self-propelled artillery. In addition, the nation also has a naval fleet of 201. 2. South Africa. South Africa has the 2nd most powerful military force in Africa. The nation boasts 225 aircraft, including 17 fighter aircraft, 7 special mission aircraft, 22 transport aircraft, 88 trainer aircraft, and 91 helicopters. It also has in its armory 195 combat tanks, 2,565 armored fighting vehicles, 43 self-propelled artillery, 82 towered artillery, and 50 rocket projectors. In addition, the country has a naval strength of 47. In 2022, South Africa budgeted around $2.9 billion for defense. South Africa has the strongest military force in sub-Saharan Africa, but is 2nd to Egypt on the continent. The nation has 72.0 active military personnel and 15.0 reserve personnel. 1. Egypt. Egypt has the most powerful military force in Africa. At the time of writing this post, The country has 465 combat aircraft and 214 armed helicopters. The Egyptian Air Force has 240 Fahrenheit 16 Fighting Falcon fighters, the fourth largest in the world after the United States, Israel, and Turkey. There are 685 total personnel in the Egyptian military. Of these, 310 are active and 375 personnel are on the reserve. For the foreseeable future, the Egyptian military forces will remain the strongest in the continent thanks to its spending power, a large collection of combat units, and elite special forces.